Welcome back to the Ionic Educational Series. Today we're diving into a crucial aspect of managing your assets on Ionic, risk management. Specifically, we're exploring collateral factors, health factors, and how to avoid liquidation. So let's get started. The first thing you need to understand to effectively manage your risk is an asset's collateral factor. The collateral factor is shown on the markets page for every asset that Ionic lists, and it determines the maximum amount that you can borrow using that asset as collateral. A higher collateral factor means you can borrow more against your assets. For example, if you have $1,000 of USDC supplied as collateral, and USDC has a collateral factor of 90%, then you can borrow up to $900 of another asset. Your collateral factor directly impacts your health factor. A higher collateral factor allows you to borrow more, but also boosts your health factor, making your position safer because more of your collateral can be used to pay back your loans. On the other hand, a lower collateral factor can put you at greater risk of liquidation if a collateral asset's value drops. Next, let's go to the Ionic dashboard. Recall that this is the central hub for managing your assets. On the dashboard, you'll see all your assets, their values, and most importantly, your health factor. Your health factor is a numerical representation of the safety of your borrowing position. Think of it as a safety score for your assets. The higher the number, the safer your position is from possible liquidation. So, how exactly does the health factor scale work? It's simple. A health factor above 1 means your position is safe. As it approaches 1, you're still okay, but might want to consider taking action to protect your position and raise your health factor. If it drops below 1, your position may be liquidated. Specifically, your health factor is calculated as follows. It's simply the sum of all your collateral assets multiplied by their respective collateral factors divided by all your borrows. From this formula, you can see that as your collateral assets increase or borrows decrease, your health factor increases. And inversely, as your collateral assets decrease or your borrows increase, your health factor decreases. Let's look at an example. Assume you supplied $1,000 in wrapped ETH, which has a collateral factor of 82.5%, and you've borrowed $600 of USDC. Using the health factor formula, your health factor is 1.38. Now, if the price of wrapped ETH drops 20%, your original $1,000 deposit is now only worth $800. Your new health factor is only 1.1, even though the amount of your borrow didn't change. It's a simple formula, but as you can see, changes in collateral asset values can cause big changes in your health factor. To keep your health factor up and avoid liquidation, there are a few strategies that you can use. One strategy is enabling specific assets as collateral when you supply them. We showed you how to do this in an earlier video. Just click the Enable Collateral button when you're supplying. When you enable an asset as collateral, you're essentially saying you're willing to use it to back your loans. But remember, not all assets are created equal. Some assets are more volatile than others, and using them as collateral can be risky. Volatile assets can fluctuate in value rapidly. This means your health factor can change quickly, putting you at risk of liquidation. For this reason, you might want to avoid using highly volatile assets as collateral. By carefully choosing which assets to enable as collateral, you can maintain a higher health factor. This means keeping more stable assets as collateral and being cautious with the more volatile ones. Another strategy to enhance your safety is using correlated assets for lending and borrowing. An example of this would be using wrapped ETH as collateral if you plan to borrow wrapped staked ETH. These are correlated assets because they are both derived from ETH. Correlated assets tend to move in price together. When one goes up or down, the other generally follows. This means their values relative to each other are more stable, reducing the risk of sudden drops in your health factor. By using correlated assets as collateral, you can create a safer and more predictable borrowing position. Now, let's talk about liquidation. Liquidation occurs when your health factor drops below 1, meaning your available collateral is no longer sufficient to cover your borrowed amount. To protect Ionic and ensure that debts are covered, The protocol will automatically sell off some of your collateral to repay a portion of your loan. This process can be costly and may result in losing valuable assets. To avoid liquidation, it's crucial to closely monitor your health factor and take preventative measures if it starts to drop. To help with that, here are some practical tips to keep your health factor up and avoid liquidation. Diversify your collateral. Use a mix of stable and slightly volatile assets to balance your risk. Monitor your health factor regularly. Keep an eye on your health factor and be ready to take action if it drops. Adjust your collateral. If you see your health factor dropping, consider adding more stable collateral, enabling more assets as collateral, or repaying some of your loan. Managing your assets within the Ionic Protocol requires a good understanding of risk management. By using the dashboard effectively, enabling the right assets as collateral, and monitoring your health factor, you can keep your position safe and avoid liquidation. Before signing off, we want to talk briefly about Ionic's X presence. Following Ionic on X is crucial for users of the protocol, as it serves as the primary channel for receiving timely and critical updates about the protocol. Followers gain direct access to announcements about new features, security updates, and upcoming product enhancements, ensuring they stay informed about the latest developments that could impact their investments and interactions with the protocol. Additionally, Ionic frequently shares educational content such as tutorials and tips on maximizing the benefits of Ionic, which can be especially valuable if you're looking to optimize your DeFi strategies. The Ionic X account provides another platform for the community to engage directly with the Ionic team, offering a space for feedback, questions, and discussions about the protocol. By following the profile, you can stay connected with the broader Ionic community, learn about and participate in exclusive events, and take advantage of promotional opportunities, all of which can enhance your overall experience and success on the Ionic platform. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this episode of the Ionic Educational Series, and stay tuned for more tips and insights to help you navigate Ionic, Mode, and the Optimism Superchain.